trust fund managed by Integral Investment Banking Group. Uh, it says, uh, the Senate approved 501c4 tax exemption status, which will be indexed under your certification under Daughters of Zion, uh, and it goes on and tells you how it's all going to be broken down. But it also talks about the basic clearance under HJRES 85. If they're a business or organization, it tells you what you have to do. Non-Texas certified nonprofits, what they have to do, and it says we need these three auxiliaries ASAP. They will be industrial strategic community investment clubs, certified community edge organization with direct community micro loans under authority under 10 USC section 127, emergency expenditure, National Emergency Disaster Relief Act, governed by HJRES 85, Emergency Civilian Authority. We have $100 million in emergency microloans. Funds must have at least commercial lending office. Daughters of Zion Empowerment Industrial Group Limited. $10,000 max, $500 minimum. Certified grassroots interest only.
It looks like it's a lot of money circulating
Money.
around the dollars, huh?
Under the Daughters of Zion.
All right.
Yeah, I wrote that.
Brother Greg, you came in late.
Yeah.
This young man sitting here in the back, he's a little small.
Yeah.
Introduce yourself. Go
Go
ahead, introduce yourself, brother.
I am Greg Ellis, and since he commented about my size, I'm this big for a reason. I played football. Yeah. And since football, I got involved with the fine arts, movies and plays and things of that sort. Probably most people in here know my company produced the Carter High movie. And since then we have two stage plays that I've been blessed to co-write and direct. And we've traveled with them, so we've taken them as far as Raleigh, North Carolina, Atlanta, and several other places as well. The current project that we're working on is a movie theater. Through doing the Carter movie, my company also put it in the movie theaters. I decided I wanted to get on the other side of it, and that is owning a movie theater. And so at the point, which probably most people in here know, I didn't know her at the time, but she reached out to me, heard about what we were doing, because we had a test, if you would, run period over in Addison where my office is at. And she said, well, Greg, I heard you're moving forward to open up a movie theater. I said, yes, ma'am. And she asked would I come over here and meet her, and I did. And she asked me, could we put it in this area, in the Redbird area? And to be honest with you, I did not know a lot about this area, because the world I come from, it was football, and it was just in the whatever Dallas Cowboy had for us world, if you would. And so, they kind of direct you on where to stay and everything, to be honest with you. Not in a bad way, but I'm just telling you that's the reality of it. And she told me the background story of this area. I also learned a lot through doing the Carter movie as well. And I said, well, it needs to be done, in my opinion. I think it's if we really want to impact the area, it starts with the youth, it starts with the 9-year-olds, it starts with the youth. That's the greatest resource. And if we're constantly telling these kids that they are equally as important as their counterparts across town, but they're never looking up, seeing people that look like them in those ownership positions, then that stuff kind of falls on deaf ears a lot of times. So I think it's important that we understand the importance of minority business ownership if you indeed want to help an area increase, if you would. We got to have a major impact on the youth. You know, it's a quick story. One of the things I started out doing was doing school photography, you know, the yearbooks and all of that kind of stuff. We used to go after the inner city schools that a lot of big companies didn't want to deal with, because you're not going to make a lot of money, you know, in those schools. And so we had a program where we would take some of the proceeds from the money that we made off of doing the pictures and the yearbooks and donate it back to that school for whatever, you know, it could help them do. And it was in Fort Worth, one of the inner city schools, and I really don't remember because we used to do a lot of them. And I was talking to the athletic director, and she is a female. And I said, well, what realistically can we do to help, you know, your situation out over here? And I said, now be realistic, because we ain't, you know, we taking pictures. This ain't gonna be enough money to build y'all a new gym. You know what I mean? And she said, and she shocked me. She told me a story. She said, if you could get us new benches for my girl, new chairs for my girls to sit on when they come out of the basketball game. Okay, and I'm thinking, okay, well, that doesn't seem too hard. What do you mean? And she showed me what the girls had to sit on when they come out of the basketball game. It was a bench that looked like it was made in 1955, to be honest with you. And she said, if you could just do that. And so we did the pictures. I went to Walmart, personally went to Walmart myself and bought some folding chairs, the ones that got the cushion on them. And to be honest with you, I thought the kids would say, man, this is some cheap stuff. I mean, you would thought that those chairs was laced with gold.
Yes.
I couldn't believe the response from the kids. They ran to the truck we had and was taking them off the truck. They were happy, like those chairs. And I was like, these are just the cheap chairs from Walmart.
Yes.
But this is how powerful God is.
Yeah.
As that teacher, that athletic director was telling me that story, she said they had a basketball tournament. The basketball tournament was at a school called Capel High School. Some of y'all probably know that district. One of the, you know, more well-to-do districts. She said the girl walked in the gym, one of her basketball players, you know, looking all up because Capel has an amazing facility.
Right.
And the little girl said, man, why can't our gym look like this? Why can't our gym look like this? And so I tell people, it's like we constantly telling these kids, you're just as good as everybody else. But the reality, the kids aren't stupid.
Right.
They walk into Capel, which is still a public school,
Right.
and they look up and they see all this stuff.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, the people telling me that I'm just as valuable as these girls over here. But we can't sit on our bench because we get splinters in our butts.
Right.
But they over here got chairs that look like it belongs in the NBA to sit down on. But we ain't got really nothing to sit down on. But we're
Right.
supposed to be equal. You want me to believe we're equal. So